Hi, welcome to my installment of my continuing saga of my life. My name is Jeromie Charpentier. I'm 43. I live with my father. It's January. It's cold outside. It's cold in this room right now. I'm wearing my New York Giants hat. I'm a Giants fan, and they didn't do so well last year, but I still wear it because it's warm, and I haven't given up my love of my Giants since I was a teenager. I've liked the Giants. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about the Giants. I'm here to talk about what's going on in my life currently. I do these video things because I like to look at where I am and see where I'm going. Sometimes I play the video back, and it provides some insight into my journey, and sometimes it's entertaining for people that watch. That's my purpose here. So prior to making today's video, I realized I got a lot of stuff on my mind right now. Currently unemployed. I was let go by a car dealership 2 or 3 weeks ago. Reason I was given was I was too confrontational. Now, some that know me would think, and they have said after I told them that, you? Confrontational? Well, I'm no saint, that's for sure. I was trying to look at the gift in it all. That, sometimes people have to hit bottom in certain things in their life in order to move forward and grow. So I immediately went to the library after, because I was scared, thinking I'm 43 years old, I live with my father, I've been from job to job. Sometimes it wasn't my fault, sometimes it was, and I just want to look at whether it was my fault or not and take responsibility. And I started to think things as what's confrontational and what's too confrontational. And from some of the research that I've gotten on the internet, as far as the subject goes, there is confrontation. People need confrontation. If they have a problem with something or somebody, they should confront them. But the approach to it, if not done with love, can be rather unsatisfactory, and it could have an adverse effect. Maybe at the time I was not acting with love. Maybe I was acting out of selfishness. Maybe some of the reasons that I was confronting people, I think it had to do with the ways in which things were being done. I tend to be a thinker and a problem solver, and I thought I was going to try to solve some problems, but I was working with people that no one could solve the problem but them. Like they've been doing things a certain way for so many years. They're not about to take any suggestions, even if it's clear that nothing's working anymore the way they were doing it. As long as they were doing it for 16 years, in their minds it must be working, so why change it? So for that, I don't feel really guilty about my confrontation. What I do feel guilty about is the way that I confronted it. I feel like I had trouble, what they call blending. with people, and I learned the term blending from a book called Dealing with People You Can't Stand. And I was probably difficult to them, and they were difficult to me. And at the end of the day, I was unemployed. So I've been unemployed, and I've been looking. One of the things that I've discovered is immediately after I was fired, I went to the library. I picked up this great book called Your Personality Profile, Why You Think, Work, and Act the Way You Do. And this book's been around since the 80s, and I wish that I had discovered it sooner, but I didn't. There's actually a new one out now called The New Personality Profile, which I haven't read. But I took a test, 104 questions, and I rated it according to 13 different personality styles. And it made me realize, like, one person doesn't have a personality. So it's not fair to sit and pigeonhole somebody to say, this is his personality. According to this book, I have personality traits, some stronger than others. The strongest trait that showed up in my test was adventurous. And that was like a double-edged sword, because adventurous people do take chances, and they go out and do things, and it made me realize, you know, I'm 43, but at 16 or 17 I wanted to be a guitar player, a singer, musician, and I just moved. I moved from my little town of Whitehall, which I figured I wasn't going to go anywhere in, and moved to Long Island, and I lived there for a few years. But I took myself with me, and I didn't really know what myself was. So now that I was unemployed, I'm realizing that I can't change my personality style overnight. It can be changed, which is a good thing. It's just that it's going to require some work on my part, more planning and less being impulsive. And they said I would be good in freelance work, working for temp agencies. The only temp agencies in the area are not in my town. The town's so small, there's no temp agencies. The closest temp agencies are Rutland, Vermont, Glens Falls, Clifton Park, which is miles and miles away, an hour away, Saratoga. So I can do things through the internet, and one of the things I have to work on lately is my resume, which looks like crap. The other thing was to start my own business. So this is partially what this video is about. I realized that we all have skills, qualifications for jobs, and mine may be somewhat limited. I'm a smart person, but I don't have a degree in anything. I never went to college, and I had to look for careers that don't require college. I started doing auto detailing back in 1998 or 99. I'm not sure. I went to work for a small car dealership, and they used to take trade-ins and auction cars, and I would have to try to make them look brand new. Now, I had no experience. I did do some web research because there's something inside me that said that if I'm going to learn how to do this, I don't want to wing it. I want to be more effective. So I started studying auto detailing, which was just starting to take off at the time. So there really wasn't a lot of things to learn from. I mean, now there's educational videos and courses I imagine you could take at a small college, but I didn't have that luxury, so I learned hands-on, trial and error, and through other detailing websites. And I got pretty good. I mean, I had things I could do, things I couldn't do, and I expanded over the years. I've worked at that car dealership. I worked at the auction, Mannheim auction in Clifton Park, in the Recon. Excuse me, where we had a assembly line type cleaning thing. And it took realizing that detailing is a process. I looked at that process and I said, if I could take that process and use it as an individual, I could do a car from top to bottom. So after I adopted the process, I started applying it to the jobs that I had worked at, and I became very successful at different car dealerships. I had some personal problems back then. I had some bosses that were a little aggressive and arrogant, and let's just say, like, I didn't have that personality book back then, and I didn't have dealing with people you can't stand back then, so I wasn't able to blend with these people like I needed to, and I either quit or I got fired. So fast forward to 2014, I still have those skills. I've still worked at other dealerships. I even took the process and tried selling it to local people. I would organize the back of my station wagon and bring everything that you possibly could bring to detail a car to someone's house, as long as they had water or electricity. And I used to make, extra money now and then, but it wasn't enough to make a living, because that, I learned later on, detailing is about disposable income. And in 2008, when the economy tanked, there wasn't a lot of people with disposable income. So I sort of was forced to go work again for someone else, where I guess things were fine for a while, but like usual, I have ideas, and those ideas weren't always welcome. So, again, I became sort of a problem person. And as I look back over my life and the pattern, I'm torn. My soul is torn, because it's like, if I'm really a problem person, then maybe I can't work anywhere unless I change the problems that I have. But if I can't change the problems, then I have to accept that and go do something, a job that fits my personality. So I came up with an idea, or an idea came to me, you could say, and I was there to accept it. My calling, maybe, I don't know if you believe in that stuff, that I could take my skills and start my own detailing business. Here's the problem. I have no money. I have nothing. I have $6 credit limit on my credit card, which is almost maxed out. I have 45 cents in my bank account. My last check from the dealership was $44, and I already blew through that. I have bills pending. I'm very frightened right now. I called a buddy that does painting. He was going to put me to work painting this week. We just found out that the place isn't ready yet, so that fell through. I was counting on that. I helped somebody move, made $20, and the only saving grace that I have is I contacted an old high school friend that lives in town, and he owns a garage, and they just got an upgrade, and the place is huge. He works on cars and trucks, and I talked with him, discussed the idea that came to me of detailing, and we've been having sit-down discussions for the last 2 days on, he's open to the idea, or else I wouldn't have had a second meeting with him. We're brainstorming. We're on the same page as far as a lot of things. He wants to create a lobby, so if people come in to get their cars done, they have a place to sit comfortably and maybe read some magazines while they're waiting. Maybe we could get a Wi-Fi access. We're trying to figure out the phone system. He's getting calls, but they're going right to the cell phone, and by the time he gets the message, people are just like, nah, forget it. So there's an urgency to fix this phone system. I might be answering the phones. I've had front desk experience at a gym for a year. I'm used to customer service, answering phones. I need to come up with menus as far as prices and services that we are going to offer the people in Whitehall and the surrounding areas. Interior detail, exterior detail, trucks, maybe semis. So my saving grace tomorrow is that I'm going to detail my first interior of a semi. I'm going to figure out how big it is, how much chemical we might need, how much time it takes, and we'll probably be able to gauge what we can charge other truck drivers for that service. As far as I know right now, there is no service like that available in this area as far as I know. Only because the sheer size of the trucks, there's no place to hold the truck while it's being cleaned. So he has that, and he sells cars and he works on cars, so we're thinking about offering maybe like a ride service. Go pick up someone, they'll pick their car up, have it brought back, do an oil change, and maybe a detail. So that's what I'm doing in my spare time. Research. So I'm not going on 20 minutes now. if anybody has any comments, suggestions, feel free. You know, try not to be rude. It's 12:37, and I'm out of here. Thanks for watching.